Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for the Showdown slate between Golden State and Toronto for the NBA Finals here. I do want to apologize real quick for not getting a video up there for Friday. Had some unfortunate events. Got my phone stolen. Just got a new one here today, so I had to go through that whole process. I just withdrew basically my whole account because I had to pay for a new phone. Really expensive, yeah. Big nightmare there, but yeah. Enough of that. Let's just jump right into analysis here. But again, I do want to apologize for not getting a video up there for Friday. So the big news is KD. Most likely he's going to be back. Participated fully in shoot around. Steve Kerr said he looks good. The reporters saying they really think he's going to play. So that makes this slate really, really interesting because the other big three of Golden State, their prices are really high for KD playing. Steph, Draymond, Klay Thompson. The prices definitely should be lower than that, but again, they haven't really adjusted to KD being back, so it's going to make the slate tricky. So let's just start with Kawhi here, I guess, at 12K. There's literally no issue at all here. He's the do-it-all guy here for Toronto. Obviously, Toronto's going to want to close out this series at home here, so I really think Kawhi is probably going to get you 45 to 65, somewhere in that range for fantasy points. So no issue there with the spend up for Kawhi, but I will get to some of the value guys. There's very, very few value guys that are playable on the slate, so it makes it kind of tricky. Stars and scrubs is probably going to be tricky roster build on the slate, so it's probably going to be more of a balanced attack. But yeah, I'll get to that here, in a bit. So Steph, Draymond, KD. So obviously the risk with KD is he hasn't played in over a month, but he's the cheapest of the big three, and I probably prefer KD to Draymond and Steph right now. If I was picking between Steph and Draymond, I'm gonna lean towards Steph just because he has more upside. He's got 70 fantasy point upside. Draymond with KD back, that probably hurts Draymond a good amount. The ball's not gonna be in his hands as much. And he doesn't really flash the huge upside. So if I was picking just between Steph and Draymond, I think I'm going to lead towards Steph. If I'm picking between all three of Steph, Draymond, and KD, I think I might risk it with KD just because, again, he's the cheapest of the three. I know he hasn't played in over a month, but it's do or die time. He's got to play, and he's got to play big minutes. So I think KD pretty solid here, and I think the ownership might be a little low on him just because everyone's going to be worried about, the fact that he hasn't played a game in over a month, but I do think the price tag here is pretty solid in KD, but definitely is a risky play for sure. And I haven't heard any news if he plays, if he's going to be limited. Again, it's do or die time, so I really don't see him being limited that much. So that's why I may risk it here with KD. Siakam at 9.6. It's just he does have upside, but he's just too inconsistent. He can get you 50 fantasy points for sure, but look, 55, 29, 37, 28. For 9.6K, I think I'm just going to look elsewhere. Again, he does have that upside in him, but it's just he hasn't flashed it enough for me to pay that price tag. So for that reason, I'm probably going to be off him. Klay Thompson at 8.8, the cheapest here of the big four for Golden State. KD being back probably doesn't hurt Klay too much. His game is still going to be running around screens, shooting threes. So like I said, it probably doesn't hurt Klay as much, so I don't mind him here at 8.8K. Probably going to get you, anywhere from 30 to 45 fantasy points, somewhere in that range. So if you're happy with that, I don't really have an issue there with Klay. Kyle Lowry, it's been a little up and down here in the series. At 7.6K, though, that's firmly in play for a guy that's going to play close to 40 minutes. Again, Toronto's going to want to close out the series here at home. So I think Kyle Lowry's perfectly fine here. Van Fleet at 6.4. Been playing really well off the bench and been playing some big minutes. They need his defense out there on Steph Curry. And like I said, yeah, he's been playing really well. But if it's me, you got Kyle Lowry and Van Fleet, I think I'm just going to lean towards paying the extra, 1,000 or so for Kyle Lowry over Van Fleet. I don't really have an issue with Van Fleet, but I just think the upside is a little higher here with Kyle Lowry. And then Marc Gasol at 6K. Probably going to play somewhere from 25 to 30 minute range. And again, there's really not a whole lot of value plays on the slate, so you're going to have to play some of these mid-tier guys. Marcus Gasol, one of the guys I'm 100% considering. Doesn't have huge upside, but probably going to get you like what 20 to 35 fantasy points, somewhere in that range. So I think he's perfectly fine here for the mid-range, and a guy I'm definitely considering. Looney at 5.6 is just too expensive. Him and Boogie Cousins are going to split the center minutes. And then when they do the small ball lineup, obviously it's going to be Draymond at the center. So I really think it's going to be Boogie and Looney probably playing, 25, splitting those for 25 to 30 minutes. So it's just not enough meat on the bone for me. So I just can't do Kevon Looney there at 5.6. Iguodala, a mid-tier guy that's perfectly fine. Obviously the KD being back is going to hurt Iguodala a bit here, but he's still going to play some big minutes. I think he's fine for a mid-tier guy too as well, so no issue there with Iguodala. Then you got Ibaka, been playing pretty solid minutes off the bench. 22 each of the last 2 games, and playing pretty well too. If he's going to play close to 20, 25 minutes, I think we have to consider him here at 5K. Again, he's more of a higher usage guy, so he's going to produce when he's out there. So I think Ibaka is also definitely in play here for a mid-tier play. And then Boogie Cousins at 4.8. So obviously the Mets have been down on him, 19 and then 15 in the last 2 games. Really hasn't looked that good either. KD being back probably hurts him a bit too. But again, the value plays on the slate, like below Boogie, there's basically like no one even playable. So if I'm going to guess, I think he plays probably 15 to 20 minutes. But at 4.8K doesn't need a whole lot to get you there. I know he hasn't looked that good, but there really isn't there really isn't that many value options in the slate. So Boogie Cousins, I actually do like him here at 4.8K. Danny Green at 4.4. A guy that's, if he can knock down some threes, he can get you there like he did 2 games ago here at Golden State. Put up 32 fantasy points. Hit 6 threes. But if he's not knocking down the shots, he's probably going to get you, 10 to 15 fantasy points. So that is risky, but he's a value guy you can play. He does have upside if he can knock down those threes. Below that, there's really no one playable in my opinion. Bogut, I really don't see him getting many minutes. Livingston with KD back, I think he's kind of out of play. Quinn Cook, Powell, McKinney, Bell, I don't see any of these guys being playable. So below Danny Green, there's really no one in play for me. So that's why, the stars and scrubs approach is going to be really hard, to do that build on the slate. Now, something I might do is maybe captain a cheaper guy so I can get more of the stars in my lineup. So maybe I'll do something like captain DeMarcus Cousins and then try to get, a couple of these stars in here and then a couple mid-tier guys. Because if you captain Kawhi or Steph or Draymond or KD, it's going to be tough to get, 1 or 2 of these stars and mid-tier guys. Like I said, there's really no value guys below Danny Green. So for that reason, right now I'm probably leaning towards going with one of these, cheaper guys as my captain, so I can get, a couple more of the stars in my lineup. So that's probably going to be the way that I go on the slate. But yeah, if Toronto wins tonight, closes it out. It's been a great season, guys. I've been making videos here since the preseason. If you've been following me since then, I do really appreciate it. If you're a new follower, I appreciate you guys tuning in these videos. But yeah, if Golden State wins, obviously I'll have another video up for Game 6. But yeah, if Toronto wins, like I said, it's been a great season. I will be making videos for Summer League DFS for all you degenerates out there. I will be making videos for that. I think that starts right after the 4th of July. So I'll be making videos for that, and then once the NFL season starts, I will be making videos for that as well. So, yeah, like I said, if Golden State wins, I'll be back for another video for Game 6. If not, it's been a great season, guys, and I will see you guys later.